Before we jump into today's episode, quick shout out to our sponsor, eBay Live. If you think eBay is just a marketplace, you're missing a whole side of it. eBay Live is where real-time excitement meets rare, exclusive, hard-to-find cards and collectibles. You can watch live auctions, catch exclusive drops, and buy directly from trusted and, quite frankly, the best sellers like myself while it's all happening. It feels like a show, not just shopping, with great hosts, the aforementioned me, creators, and streamers. Plus, everything's backed by eBay's protections and authenticity guarantees. To check it out, download the eBay app, tap the eBay Live button right under the search bar. Make sure you follow, obviously, Sports Cards Nonsense. Let's get back to your show.
Welcome to another episode of Hobby Nonsense. It is your boys, Sports Boy and Solar Ray, as usual.
As usual.
However, there is an added component. For all of you who listened to earlier in the week, the SCN show, you may be familiar with our guests, and whether you are or not, we have different topics to discuss with him. The president of Upper Deck is here in the studio, Jason Masherah. How are you, Jason?
Good.
Thank you for being here again.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Breaking the fourth wall. It's the same day as the SCN recording, and it's only a few hours later. So, but we're neither here nor there. We're keeping the fourth wall up and intact, and we're gonna be talking more non-sport on the show, obviously, as we do. But I also am I've got some questions that are lingering after the SCN conversation that I'm like, oh, you know what? We should have asked them this or that. So it's kind of nice. Like we get not a do-over, but like a bonus section. So that'll be fun to go along with this. And Ray, now we get to introduce Ray. I do plan on letting Ray talk more than I let Alex talk on the last one.
Did Alex not get a word in?
Very little. Very little.
I'll make sure to get my words in.
And that's
Jason.
the thing.
You don't have to.
Alex was very quiet. He was very kind and not trying to jump in and talk over me, which I kind of feel bad about. He should have. So
we got to be on our P's and Q's when the president of Upper Deck is here.
That's what I'm saying. So, Jason, before we get started, what's on the table here?
So
can we talk about this now?
Yeah, I've got a deck box here. So
can we move this mic just a little closer to your mouth? Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you.
There we go. So, I know a large part of your audience is Pokemon based, and we have a TCG called Neopets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we did recently in the War of the Obelisk release is we did parody album covers.
Oh, okay.
For Neopets.
For Neopets. So if you guys haven't seen these, they are absolutely amazing. So they probably hit, I'm a little bit older than you guys, I think, but they kind of hit.
You look great though, Jason.
How are you?
You look fantastic.
How are you? 90? Well, you look fantastic. I mean, if you were 45, then I'd say, yeah, you look maybe around our age.
But I figured you guys would dig this because this is like right in your wheelhouse. So Neopets, if you guys aren't familiar, was an online game. Well, it still is an online game.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I know of this beyond just TCG, but it was an online game as well.
Yeah,
okay.
So it started, I believe, in 1999. So it's like head deep in the millennial generation. So most people ended up playing either Neopets or Club Penguin.
Yeah.
There were a few of those games.
Like Webkins in there too?
Yeah, Webkins was in there. So it's kind of that generation.
Okay.
The only one that's really stood the test of time is Neopets. And we've been doing a TCG now for a couple of years. So what our product team came up with is they did these parody album covers with the Neopets characters. So you can see
we can guess.
A couple of these.
Wait, is that?
I know what it is. Do you know what it is?
Is that Gorillas?
Gorillas.
It is
the Gorillas.
Okay,
right?
Man,
Demon
wow.
Days.
Yeah,
yeah,
very cool. And there's some
cool.
of these that are not in my wheelhouse, so they actually wrote the
Is that what it says?
But I'll give you another one.
Okay.
I'll let you guys look through this.
That Gorillas album went platinum in my Dodge.
This one,
Durango.
Oh, yeah. That's
Come on. Lincoln Park.
Why did you spoil it? Yes. Yeah, he got it first.
What's the album?
He got it first. I couldn't tell you. I don't know the name of it. What is it? Do you know the album? You put me on blast over here. Doesn't know it either.
I do know. Give me a little hint, Jason.
Does it say on the back, or does it just say Lincoln Park?
No, I got the album.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Is it like?
It's the good one.
It's the mix of metal and rap together.
Oh, is it the Jay-Z?
No.
Okay.
But it's if you mix two things together, you get what?
An amalgamation. That's not the word at all.
What is it, Jason?
Hybrid theory.
Hybrid theory. That's the good one. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the
But
good one.
there's a whole stack, and I can let you guys.
Yeah, I would love to
kinda
check these
look
out.
through these. But here's another one. This is a good one.
Oh,
to
yeah,
see
yeah.
if it's in your wheelhouse. We'll see what kind of music you guys listen to.
Okay.
He doesn't know it.
I don't know it. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
You do know this?
Yeah. NSYNC, No Strings
duh.
Attached.
Yeah.
come
Once
on.
Well,
it's funny because when I looked at the characters, I didn't get it, but when I saw the text at the top, I was like, "Oh, I know
Yeah.
what that is."
Yeah, so you're
That's so
probably not
funny.
necessarily familiar with the characters, but you'll know the albums in a lot of cases.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I like
Bye,
that.
I'll let you look through.
And
this.
these are playable.
these are playable cards.
Really? Can I see those
Yeah.
right there?
Yeah.
So
They're so cool. So like even if you aren't like into TCGs,
Yeah.
these parody album covers are just to me the team knocked it out of the park.
Tyler, the creator.
And I think there's a couple people now that are starting to try to knock off the concept that the team came up with. But
Blink-182.
this is like it's perfect synergy between the generation that grew up playing Neopets
Mhm.
and the popular music at the time.
You know this one?
Is that Black Parade? What's it called? The Black Parade's the song. Oh my goodness. Why can't I think of the name?
That's the name of the album, The Black Parade.
Yeah, okay, but I can't think of the name of the band.
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical
What about
Romance.
this one? You know this one?
Jeez. Ooh, Christina Aguilera.
Is
Is that not Christina Aguilera?
One more time.
Close.
Britney Spears? Is it Britney
Yeah,
Spears?
yeah.
Okay, man. Here's what's so weird.
I think
These
he's
were
a little
made.
nervous.
I think these are made for millennials.
Yeah.
like this has
100%.
got to be made for
100%
millennials. This is
made
all
for
the
millennials.
stuff I remember. Like, yeah, these are when I had actual albums, like actual CDs.
These are cool.
I
What
have to imagine these are popular.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where again the hype of what's going on with Pokemon has kind of overshadowed everything.
Yeah,
Definitely they go for decent resale value, but honestly, not a lot of people have been kind of hitting these and maybe even knowing what they are.
yeah. I'm wondering if people know about
Yeah.
them. Yeah. Well,
No, so this
Because
just
those
came-
are really cool.
Very cool. So they just came out in the War of the Obelisk expansion.
okay.
They fall about 1 to 2 per box.
Oh, 1 to
Okay.
2 per box. Oh, so
Yeah.
you're
What
pretty
are we
much,
talk-
you're guaranteed to get at
Like
least one of
a
them.
box, we're talking about like a
It's a booster box.
booster box.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And 36 packs. Like what's
Well,
in
let's
a?
see. I might have brought you guys a couple
Oh,
of boxes.
Whoa. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. He's winning me over already with us.
Because I figured you guys weren't
That's so
necessarily
cool.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I know.
familiar. So like the rest of our products, the Neopets
24.
product is available at our certified diamond dealer shops.
Okay.
And you have been able to find them at places like Target and GameStop as well.
yeah.
Or you can buy them on Upper Deck Store. But yeah, the parody album covers have been a little bit, I would say, underground.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's kind of a if you know type thing.
Oh.
But I thought you guys would totally dig these things.
So in your marketing, did you make that like a chase, or is it like you just said, is if you know, you know?
It's kind of a if you know
Okay,
type
that's
thing.
kinda cool.
I think everybody, the marketing team, wanted people to kind of find them
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and talk about them.
Sure.
But it's one of those things like when you see them, you're like, yeah, this is really cool.
I'm curious. So you bring this one in, and when you started talking about TCG, I was like, for sure, I knew you were about to talk about Rush of Icor. But you pulled this one out, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I forgot you guys also have that. How many TCGs do you guys have?
So we have 2 currently.
Okay.
There is a third one in the hopper.
That's why has that been announced already? Okay,
we
well then
haven't
never mind.
You can't give us like a little.
No, I'm not
Little
ready.
something.
Not even an
not
IP?
Ready, not ready to bring it
Is
to
it
the world.
is
yet.
it a pre-existing IP, or is it just something?
It is a
new?
it is a pre-existing IP. So the goal is Rush of Icor is our original IP.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then the other TCGs will be existing IP. So like Neopets has been around since '99.
Mhm.
But we have we have another one in the hopper, and then we have
Okay.
our box games as well. So we have 2 incredible DC games coming out this summer. One is Legendary, which is our traditional box game that we've done since 2012. That'll be the first time DC has been featured as part of Legendary, which is a deck building game, which means you get everything you need in one box.
Okay,
It's not a repeat purchase. It's not a
Yeah.
collectible game per se.
gotcha.
And then we have a game coming out a minis game called Enemies of Gotham, which is based on the Batman animated series.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool game that should be out in the next couple months, where you're basically playing as the villains trying to take over Gotham.
Oh, that's cool. I love that concept.
So tell me a little bit more about this deck building game, because I don't know if I'm familiar with it other than I do. That's what I thought you were going to say. It was going to be like a DC TCG or something like that, because I remember seeing something about the DC deck building game that you just mentioned. What? Yeah. How long? You said since 2012?
Yeah. So deck building games were relatively new. The first ones kind of hit around 2010, and the at the time TCGs, I would say, were in a little bit of a lull, just kind of like the regular trading card market, and people were coming out of the recession, were a little more cost conscious at the time. So this concept of deck building game came up, where you basically get, in our game Legendary, you get anywhere from, depending on the release, 350 to 550 cards in a game. And basically you have everything you need to build your decks in the box.
Oh, okay.
And depending on the style of game, so our game Legendary is a cooperative game where you actually can play 1 to 5 players, and you're playing against the game. And you can do it as a team. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's a wholly different thing.
Yeah.
There are people who do buy the game to collect the cards because it has amazing original art, but there's not secondary market value per se, because every game has the exact same cards.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes more sense. But yeah, that's really cool. I didn't realize, when you had come on SEN, you had, for those who didn't listen, Jason brought me a really cool gift. There's a reference here because I bought a pink Tigger from Disney 100 that I talked a lot about. Apparently a lot about. I didn't think I did, but apparently I talked a lot about it. And so to put the rest to the pink Tigger talk, he brought me this Tigger from Disney Treasures Collectibles, but it came with a pack of cards in there. And that's the thing. The Upper Deck at one time had the Disney IP for making cards. And we talked about this as well, but some of the cards that we sell on the eBay Live auctions are from that set. And I guess I get surprised when I see things like this, because I didn't think you guys were into things other than cards, other than, and I knew you guys do the TCG, but knowing you've got like this other game that you've built, and the fact that you had toys to go along with your cards, do you ever think about expanding into other collectible forms as well?
Yeah, for a while we were doing a lot of figurines and vinyl, big kind of vinyl
really?
Figurines.
Yeah.
The figurine market's hard, and I'm actually in the middle of writing a LinkedIn post on the figurine market. The trouble is that you have a hard time reinventing, especially on sports, the same athletes over and over again. Because once you have, a Wayne Gretzky figurine, do you need a second one? How many uniforms can you put them in?
Yes.
And then it becomes a storage issue, because figurines can take up a lot of space. Yeah. So, it was a tough market. I don't know that I see us going back. We actually do collaborations with some of the figurine companies here and there to bring our spokespeople. We work with Funko. We work with Metacom.
Okay, cool.
We've worked with there's a couple of them that escaping my memory right now, but they're really good at doing figurines. So we'd rather just collaborate with somebody rather than doing it ourselves. But we've done a ton of stuff over the years. So like one of the things that, again, especially newer collectors don't realize. So, Topps had a really great crossover between MLB and Disney. But people don't realize in the history, like we did that with Looney Tunes back in 1990, where we crossed MLB with some of our athletes at the time.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's interesting when you go back through the history, there is a lot of cool stuff. And I think in the history of Upper Deck, we've tried a lot of different stuff. We did precious metal coins about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember the precious metal coins when we had the coin guy on?
Did he talk about?
He talked about the DC
PMGs. Precious metal.
No.
Gems, coins.
We did some hockey, like precious metal coins, and they were actually blind packed, where you could actually get a random solid gold coin.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And it was way ahead of its time.
Was that a redemption?
No, Like
it actually went
you
out.
it was a saleable product. It was a $99 SRP.
Mhm.
Oh.
You got 1 coin per pack, quote unquote, and then randomly inserted were these gold coins, solid gold coins.
Wow.
And it's interesting because the New Zealand Mint is doing a really good job with their blind package stuff right now. A lot of entertainment properties, really cool stuff that they're doing. We were just ahead of our time.
Oh yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about the coin market? Because I've been having a number of guys who have reached out and wanted to talk about it, and I think Gary V talked about that just recently, him leaning more into the coin area, and
I think he just put out some coins not too long ago.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah,
like I think one of the Black Cat coins sold for like 10K, something like that.
So, and that's kind of my thing is like I can see coins being they're easily accessible, like as far as like I can put multiple of them in my pocket and they don't take up a ton of room and they already have an inherent collectability because people already collect coins. I've been trying to imagine if the entertainment space or even sports on coins will be a desirable collectible. And I'm just curious if you guys have thought about going back into it.
Well, it's interesting. During COVID, I was looking for different things to do with my kids because we were trapped and there wasn't a lot of things to do. A couple of my girls were into cards, but my youngest just wasn't there yet. And we found a couple of my mom's old books, collector coin books. If you remember when we were kids, the ones where you put the coins in the little
different
slots.
states.
Yeah. And in the penny book, where you put the pennies in. And that she took to, and we had a great time. And we still kind of collect coins together. We're not serious. We're not in the graded coins and stuff. We're just trying to fill the spots in the book.
Yeah.
But it was something that I was able to use to connect with my daughter and have something in common to do with her. Look, I think it's like all collectibles. Some things resonate with different people.
Yeah.
You know, some people love sports, some people love entertainment, some people love figurines, some people love coins. You just find what makes you happy and what you enjoy.
No, absolutely.
The coins is what I find interesting about the coins is we may be heading to a world where coins don't exist anymore. So
right.
do they become more collectible at that point?
Oh, that's actually a good point. I didn't think about that because it is, I mean, well, in the US at least, it feels like we got rid of the penny, right?
They're talking about getting rid of the nickel now too.
Are we really?
I saw a thing where the nickel also costs more to produce than what it's worth.
That's wild.
That is so crazy. Well, but my only thing is, okay, well, we're getting rid of all these smaller denomination coins, but in the UK, they still use like the euro and then €2 like for coins. I wonder if they get rid of those too, or if those stay strong. And even if they don't, like you said, New Zealand is doing this, right? Like where it's actual monetarily, like these coins aren't just for collectors. You could actually go out and spend one of these coins that have a printing on them. I wonder if that becomes something that governments start to actually issue, larger governments, not just a smaller country, even though I don't think of New Zealand as being that small, but I guess in the grand scheme of like, you know, US and China and France, they're probably not as
well.
big.
The US historically doesn't do like these entertainment IP coins.
Yeah, exactly.
They recently did a Superman series.
The US did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That is so interesting. How did I wish I would have known about that. That's got to be.
What's the value of the coin for the Superman?
$1?
You know?
You're going to ask me details.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know the.
That's fair.
The
You
details
knew
of them.
way more than I would have expected. So that's very good.
But they did a limited edition series of Superman coins recently, which was a big deal because the U.S. government typically doesn't do like various coins like some of the other governments.
I wonder what was the reason why they did that.
I mean,
maybe like an anniversary of Superman, something like that.
Well, like they have, I don't know. They used to at least have like on QVC or something like coins, like collectible coins. And then they would say they were like US Mint coins. I assume that they've always been selling coins for collectors. It's not something that younger people have gotten into maybe until more recently.
I think they just didn't want to mess with our traditional currency with a bunch of
could you imagine
miscellaneous stuff. Right?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
By the way, I was expecting you to have a Superman costume in today, since you're known to dress up as.
I should get a Superman costume, man.
That could be the Halloween costume this year.
I have a Batman mask, and I, like a moron, forgot it at home.
Or Supergirl's the big DC movie this year. You could be Supergirl.
I got in a little trouble, a little heat for making myself look like Elsa at one point on a CGI photo. I don't know if I can go back that other way. But
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with just 30 calories and no artificial sweeteners. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
You tell yourself no one wants your college-era band tees, but on Depop, people are searching for exactly what you've got. You once paid a small fortune for them at merch stands. Now, a teenager who calls them vintage will offer that same small fortune back. Sell them easily on Depop. Just snap a few photos and we'll take care of the rest. Who knew your questionable music taste would be a money-making machine? Your style can make you cash. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
You mentioned something earlier about you guys doing a previous product where you had Looney Tunes characters with athletes. I love when you guys did that product. I thought it was very cool. I've seen other variations. When Looney Tunes product came out last year, it was much more popular than I gave it credit to be. I didn't think it was going to be as much of a hit, but I've continued to see not only collectors going after it, but there's also a decent value attached to some of the resale as well. And this is one of our listeners wanted me to ask you specifically, do you guys foresee doing more Looney Tunes products in the future?
100%. Obviously, you saw that we did the kind of limited edition Space Jam at Target.
Yep.
There is definitely more in the pipeline. And look, we have a history of going back into nostalgic type properties.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how long you guys have been collecting, how much you're looking at stuff, but we did Firefly, we did Alien, we've done like X-Files, which is one of my favorite series that we've done.
Yeah.
Talking to the right guys here.
Yeah, we did the James Bond stuff. So, we've gotten access to the Warner Brothers treasure trove. So we opened up with Looney Tunes. We did Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was actually the one that surprised me.
That one was very big. Yes.
Yeah. Hanna-Barbera, man. A lot of Hanna-Barbera fans out there.
Both Looney Tunes and I thought like because which one was first? Do you remember? Was it
Looney
Scooby-Doo?
Tunes was first.
Okay. So I remember thinking Looney Tunes was like, oh, that was kind of a shock. There's no way it's going to be, they'll have two back to back that are that popular, but they were both very popular. Like
Right.
I would argue that Scooby-Doo was even more popular. I don't know. Either way, I do know for a fact that I was very jealous. It had a lot of FOMO that I did not get some of it when it first came out. Cause it was like, I resonate with those IPs. I think a lot of us in this age of collecting are similar ages, millennials, maybe a little more before, maybe a little after, but these are all IPs that even if we're not, they've been around for a number of years. These characters have been around for a number of years. Yes, they've been like made into new movies and new shows for younger audiences, but that's what's great. They span such a long length of time that you could put out a product, whether it is based on something brand new or something from years and years ago that would, I think, still do well.
Yeah, I think both those products surprised everybody because they weren't, I would say, heavily ordered up front.
Mm-hmm.
But once they hit the market and everybody saw how the product was built, they got very, very excited about it. And there was concern that we heard that, so much of the entertainment stuff has now been pushed to breakers. There was concern from the breakers that the product wasn't necessarily built for breaking.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, was one of the reasons it didn't get pre-ordered as heavily.
Oh, gotcha.
And I think it surprised everybody on the backside that you could do character breaks and things of that nature with that product. People just kind of underestimated it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen the order pattern change drastically since those two products came out.
So Ray, this is just to fill you in too. So when we did the SCN interview, Alan, the producer over there, he asked me afterward. He was like, "Oh yeah, you should have asked him about the fact that Jordan is, you guys have Jordan locked in for exclusive signatures, and you have him on Space Jam, obviously, but you guys also have the PGA cards, and he is such a big golfer." Is there ever a world, and I'm thinking about this too, Space Jam, there were scenes of him golfing. Is there ever a world where you guys incorporate more Jordan, but from the standpoint of golf?
Yeah, he's been in some of our golf products.
Oh, he
prior. Has. We kind of pulled back. We didn't want to do too many of them.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, people still want him as a basketball player.
Yeah.
And we've tried to find new and unique ways to present him over the years. So there was a period of time where we featured him a lot in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And then we moved to kind of golf for a little while. We found that his final game in Chicago was a charity event with Scottie Pippen, and we got pictures of that. And we actually bought his uniform from that game.
Wow, that's cool.
That's really cool.
And did that. So now we're in what we call the Jordan brand era, which a lot of the content is now revolving around iconic pictures of him from the Nike advertising and commercials.
Yeah. Okay,
so,
cool.
So the stuff that you're seeing in Goodwin these days is all Nike assets, which is really fun. So we have done them in the golf products. We've just kind of let that one rest.
Okay, makes sense. So something that we have not talked as much about is the AEW side of Upper Deck. And obviously this is something we talk about wrestling quite a bit on here, but we've talked more WWE. But I know, Ray, you had a couple points you were talking about before the show.
Yeah, I know that Upper Deck carries the licensing for AEW. And then I brought up the point that after watching this year's WrestleMania, like in previous years, AEW became so popular because the people that were watching wrestling at the time wanted an alternative because they didn't like the product. I think right now the product is good, but after watching WrestleMania, I think people might have to, they're going to start looking for another alternative, which AEW is. To me, it is a great wrestling product. Like the AEW as a whole is a great wrestling product, but I like the other stuff too. Like the grandiose show that is WWE. But as wrestling, AEW is great, and I think Upper Deck has been doing a really good job by putting, some of the really cool things from some of the matches in the AEW product. One of the things that stands out was the fork.
The fork card, yeah.
That is ridiculous. That match
really cool.
was crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think both AEW and Upper Deck's AEW products have evolved over the last few years. There was a lot of heat when AEW first started and when our first products came out. And then a couple of the key wrestlers got hurt. And then at the same time in WWE, you had this train of The Rock and John Cena coming back, which sucked the air out of everything.
Yeah.
And look, Topps was putting out some pretty incredible products. Panini at the end, and then Topps were putting out some pretty incredible products around bringing The Rock back and John Cena back. And everybody was rightfully excited about all that stuff. That storyline has ended.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like any sport where, like, what is the next era? And I think there's some questions about that. Now, on the flip side, AEW has had some pretty good storylines. MJF is back. Hangman Page
MJF is my favorite wrestler.
By
period.
far. Yeah.
He is the best wrestler.
I'm Googling as
MJ.
Yeah.
But him being hurt for quite a while, I think, hurt them. And their storylines have been really good lately. The wrestling has been incredible. And our products have gotten better. Our team has dialed them in. They have given us unprecedented access. The materials that have been coming out of our products the last couple of years is amazing. They actually gave us a championship belt to cut up and put into cards. So we actually have legit championship belt relic cards in our products.
Which belt? What do you know which one it was?
You're going to get me caught on the details.
Thanks a lot, Ray.
Yeah. So what they did, my understanding is they just replaced the leather on the belt.
Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, cool.
And we got the leather strap because we'd have a hard time cutting up the actual metal piece of it.
Fair enough.
But if you see the stuff that we've been doing over the last couple of years with the materials, it's unbelievable.
The wrestling world is something that I feel very ignorant of, both WWE and AEW. That's why I am so glad to have Ray as a part of this, because it is not my forte. Neither, like, TCG is something I dabble in, but it's like something I've tried to get more into, but I also recognize I need more assistance. Everything else, though, like on your non-sport cards, I'm very much more invested in and I know more about. And I'm looking through some of the other product lines that you guys have coming up, and I'm getting very excited for some of these. But what I've noticed on some of the products coming is, like, it's a lot of TBD. Do you guys have, like, how difficult is it making some of these? Because you kind of alluded to it on the other show. How hard is it for you guys to get some of this actually from concept out to in the consumer's hands?
Yeah, entertainment side of the business isn't the well-oiled machine that sports is. It is definitely tougher, mainly because there are a lot of, I would say, critical eyes that go into it. So I'll give you a good example is our Halo product. And if you guys haven't opened Halo, it's amazing.
Look at this guy wearing a Halo shirt. Didn't even see that coming.
Again, that was a product that was way under ordered.
Yeah, for sure.
And is, to me, it's kind of a legendary built product. Like it is an incredibly built product.
Yeah.
It took us 5 years to get that product out.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Those aren't even like real act. That's a video. That's CGI stuff.
Yeah, but the video game companies tend to be heavily invested in the product development concept, even more so than regular entertainment.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get things through. And quite frankly, their job is to make incredible video games, not trading cards.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it's the same with the movie studios, the television studios. Like their job is to make movies and television, not necessarily their core component, or at least they haven't viewed it in the past to get trading card out to market. So trying to get their attention, trying to get stuff through the system is tough. I mean, we've had products that have taken, as long as 7 or 8 years in some cases to get to market. So it is tough to tell everybody when a specific product is going to come out.
Sure.
Is that frustrating?
Very frustrating.
Because you have this idea and you finally get this IP and it's like, oh man, we can't.
Yeah.
It's one hurdle after another and after another.
Well, and it's not always the studios. And again, I'm sure our friends at other companies can attest to this. Sometimes you're waiting for a key signer to return their autographs.
Wow.
So for example, we got stuck waiting for Sigourney Weaver to sign her autographs for Alien. And
come on, man.
That's not a product you can do without Sigourney.
No, yeah, exactly. You need that.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to have her.
Yeah.
So you're at her mercy. She's very busy. She's one of the best actresses of a generation, and she'll get to it when she gets to it. And you're not putting out a product without her.
Is that Billy's job? Billy, who's been on the pod before, and his last name starts with a C. Cilio.
Yeah.
Is that? I always see him posting photos of him with celebrities.
So there's two sides to that.
Okay.
So he is a senior product developer for us. He is one of the guys that helps construct the bones of the products. But his hobby that he's had for 20 years is he goes and he likes to meet actors and actresses.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's kind of fun. He does these pictures, he'll get stuff signed, and then he uses them as presents.
That's great.
That's cool.
Yeah. He's never, as far as I've known, he's never sold any of those things.
Wow.
He uses them. He's a great guy. He goes out and he, develops relationships with somebody and he says, well, who's your favorite actor? And the next thing you know, you have an autograph photo.
That's so cool.
So, yeah.
That is,
me and Jesse are huge Michael Jordan fans. So just,
throwing
that out there.
Billy, if you're listening,
it's funny you say that. So, ultimately, we have, we're lucky. We don't have a lot of redemptions these days. But when you have a athlete or an actor that stiffs you, you have to reach out to a customer and say, hey, this person's not signing their autographs. We'll do a replacement for you.
Yeah.
Ideally, who do you collect? Who are your favorite players? And of course, everybody says
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Tiger Woods. And it's like,
those are
Just
everybody's
three
favorites.
Goats of
we don't have that stuff just sitting around waiting for replacements. So let's be a little more realistic.
Do you guys have, because I think the Space Jam Jordan autos were on card, right? Or were those stickers?
Those were labels.
Oh, they were. Okay. So you guys have stickers that you guys can use or labels that you guys can use. But I guess how often do you have to replenish that?
I mean, it just depends on what products are coming out and usage. I mean, look, I think we, just like collectors, prefer everything to be on card.
Sure.
But, especially I would say on the entertainment side, it's a little bit tougher because the acting schedules for these actors are so variable, right? So, we'd all love everything to be on card, but, all of a sudden I remember vividly trying to chase down Jeremy Renner for the original Avengers, and he was at a hotel in the Philippines and we couldn't get cards down there. We had to do labels for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is,
That's crazy.
So are you the president of Upper Deck? Are you ever like watching TV with your family, or you see a news item and you're like, oh, they're going to make that into a movie? Oh, that's coming out in the future there. It's in development. Are you ever watching or listening and you're like, oh, I want to get on that. I for instance, when we were talking about video game cards like Halo, I started thinking like, oh, they keep talking about, Rockstar keeps talking about the new Grand Theft Auto game that has been in development for years. And I'm like, I wonder if any company, Upper Deck, has ever thought about, hey, we should go out and try and get cards. Do things like that pop into your head where you're like, I need to contact, our creative team and get them to start looking into this now? Or do you just kind of let them handle all of it?
I mean, we all play a part in the company. Like the ideas come from every employee in the company. They'll submit questions. They'll give us ideas. There's stuff I look at. There's stuff that everybody in the company, as well as collectors, will send us messages of, hey, have you considered this? The reality is there are so many different entertainment properties you could do cards for. It's almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
We've got some pretty incredible stuff on tap. When you talk about video games, we did Tiny Tina. That was a Gearbox game. We've done Halo. We've got Blizzard. We did a history of Blizzard recently.
Oh, that's cool.
We've got some other things in the pipeline. Borderlands is coming out.
Yep.
Probably late fall. We've added some content to that product.
Movie content?
No, not movie content.
Oh, okay.
But we've added some content. We got the licensor worked with us to add some, I would say, more hobby content for this fall, similar to what we did in Halo.
Okay.
So we're really excited about that. So there's a variety of, I would say, video game stuff in the pipeline, but video game stuff is some of the hardest stuff to do.
I gotta imagine too, like every time they start talking about a new James Bond, you guys are like, come on. Like as soon as like the announcement comes, you probably are like, we have to start working on it now so that within a year of it coming out, hopefully we can get our product out just because of that lead time.
So it's interesting because you take a couple of the different subjects you have here, Jesse, and I think one of the things that people don't realize is what has changed drastically over the years is that the movie studios and the television studios won't release assets to the trading card companies until after the stuff is aired for the first time. So if you go back in our history with Marvel Studios, the first Captain America movie and the first Thor movie, we had product on the shelf 6 weeks before the movie came out.
Oh, really?
And two things happened. One,
storylines were broke.
Well, we didn't break any storylines, but the directors became more secretive because they didn't want spoilers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, the advent and the increase in CGI, where they're tinkering with CGI right up until the movie releases, causes you not to be able to get images of key characters, especially if they're CGI characters, till the very end. So what you've seen is a transition for everybody in the industry to a delay of when you can get like full movie products out because you're waiting for the movie to release to the public before we can do anything. And it makes it difficult because you'd like to be out right when the movie's out or the television show is out.
Yeah.
But it's almost impossible anymore.
Wow. That's really interesting. I didn't think about the idea of them changing details to the point where you couldn't do it anymore. Speaking of, and I know I've either asked you or your predecessor, or not predecessor, but your other teammates, are we going to see any Batman movie stuff? Like I know we're getting Superman movie stuff, but any of the former Batman movies, will we see any cards, any new products of those cards?
Look, there's a lot of things on the table right now with our friends at DC and Warner Brothers. I think the hard part is just choosing what is the priority.
Yeah.
Batman
Begins. No. Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Sorry.
The Dark Knight trilogy.
Yes, Dark Knight trilogy, of course. Yeah, and I'm just like, if you have to pick a movie, then we got to do Heath Ledger's Joker. But in cut autos, that's all I'm saying. Cut autos, that's fine.
Look, I think right now we're all salivating for all the stuff we can possibly do because. Look, there's been different licensees for DC and Warner Brothers over the years, but there hasn't been anybody that's kind of all in and dedicated to doing a breadth of product. And it's almost, they kind of have to beat us down with a stick because there's so much we want to do.
I believe that.
So I would say it's on our wish list as well.
Mhm.
It's a matter of when we can get to it. And I think one of the other things with the DC universe is we want to make sure we're featuring the current universe before we really get back to the prior universe as well.
Fair.
And from a marketing standpoint, that's where they'd prefer that we
Yeah.
work as well, right?
And I would also think the collectors, probably you're going to gauge, or you're going to find more collectors who are wanting the current movie, like the Robert Pattinson Batman or some other version that's currently out.
But I think if you're a Batman fan, you want all the Batman.
All of it.
Exactly.
All of it.
I want like the George Clooney. I said it. I'll take that Batman as well.
mean, yeah, all the Batmans.
Yeah.
They just started releasing Lego started releasing all the Batmobiles throughout the year as a small Lego sets
Oh, really?
with special minifigures from those actors. So for the first
wow.
time, there's a George Clooney Batman minifigure.
Did they paint on little nipples like for his bat suit?
That the George Clooney
That was
one?
the joke. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that was the George Clooney one with the nipples.
Yeah, but the DC universe for Batman is going to be crazy. The new trailer for the Clayface movie
Yes,
just came
I was
out,
gonna
which
say.
looks crazy.
Amazing.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
so just all that, and it's going to be crazy.
I just really hope James Gunn does not leave because there started to be
was that
rumors.
a James Gunn?
Well, I don't know,
think
but
that
I mean,
one is.
he's kind of directing the DC cinema path, and that's where we're going to be basing a lot of these cards off of the movies that he's kind of led the way on, I feel like. And if he leaves, they could replace, maybe he'll be better. I don't know, but James Gunn has a history of doing well in that field. So.
Well, and he's done a good job so far. I mean, if you look at everything they've done under his direction,
Mhm.
Creature Commandos was amazing. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out.
I started an episode on HBO because I think it's on there, and I need to give it more time.
Yeah, I'm not a big, I would say, animated guy.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, but it was impressive.
Okay.
Superman, I loved.
Yep.
Peacemaker is amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mhm.
This
Will we
Clay,
see Peacemaker trading cards?
so we did an exclusive at Comic-Con last year.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't have your hands on that, I would get on eBay and go get
Okay.
some of that. We've been trying to figure out how to incorporate it into the stuff that we're doing. I'm hopeful. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm hopeful.
John
that there'll be
Cena
a-
autos?
There'll be a full release. We'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. You know,
Okay.
he's gone up and down in his willingness to sign for trading cards, as you know, over the years.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I actually don't hate that because he signs so much. It's like I kind of want you to pull back a little bit, but at the same time, if it would mean
But a John
more
Cena
honors.
Peacemaker.
I know that's the
It's
thing.
different.
That's a different
Yeah.
world. Yeah, exactly.
So the I would say, look, with Paramount buying Warner Brothers, I think it remains to be seen because everybody, when a company buys another company, they like to put their own stamp on it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But there's no reason that he wouldn't stay. Everything he's done has been good and been successful for the company.
Yeah.
So, you know, look, and the great thing for us in this industry is James Gunn's a huge collector.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense. He would.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
He's
You'd
a
have to
nerd.
be. Oh man, should we get James Gunn on the pod too?
I think we should.
Do you have any pull, Jason? I mean, I want you on as well.
Look at this.
I don't.
guy.
I'm not asking for. I'm just asking. I mean, do you know James? Because well, here's the thing. You've met Michael Jordan. You've met, I'm sure, a number of the stars that you work with. Do you ever get to meet any of the entertainment side? Because, like you said, these people are living crazy lives. They're all over. You were sending cards to them to sign. I imagine it's probably pretty rare that you're getting to meet any of these individual actors or actresses in person.
I mean, I've met a couple over the years, but the reality is there's no reason for me to meet most of them. You know, we have a group that handles our signings.
Okay.
It's really them that does it. Like
Sure.
there's no reason for me to do that.
That's fair.
I have other responsibilities
Yeah.
I need to do.
He's
You're
got big. he's got a
supposedly
company
running
to
a
run.
business, whatever. Well, now the entertainment side of what you guys do is very impressive. I love the cards that you guys have made or making and made. And I'm saying that as someone who is learning more about the history of Upper Deck cards, the cards that you guys made in the early 2000s that, like we referenced earlier, the Disney cards that you guys had licensing for and you were putting that out. I find that I'm continuing to learn more about some of these earlier sets that I had no idea about. But once I find it, I'm like, oh yeah, this was really done well.
It's really interesting. It's one of those things that I think as you guys kind of continue to do this show, the history of Upper Deck Entertainment is super fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our first sports product was 1989. Our first entertainment product was 1990.
Oh, was it
Wow.
that close?
With Looney Tunes and Comic Ball.
Oh, was that the first? Wow.
That was the first one. And it's super fascinating when you get in there because I'm finding products that I had no idea existed. And,
Mhm.
you know, I like to think I'm a little bit of a historian,
Yeah.
but like I was doing some research recently and it looks like our first movie products we ever did came out in the same year, 1995. Anybody want to hazard a guess?
95
Was it a Batman movie?
Twister? No, I
95 Batman Forever? Was that 95?
No, it's not
that
that
later.
mainstream.
Oh, is it is it a sci-fi movie?
So I found two so far. I don't know if there's more.
X-Files.
No. So the first one you're never going to guess because I would have never guessed it was Congo.
Congo.
Oh, such a great movie.
It's a terrible movie, but
Oh, you're
it's,
kidding?
Oh,
it's such a bad movie.
Speaking of terrible.
Bad gorilla.
Speaking of terrible,
Yeah,
the other one,
let's hear it.
Street Fighter.
Whoa, hey now,
Dude,
but-
I love me some Street Fighter.
and they got
That
the
first movie.
I love that
Oh.
movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme?
well,
Come on.
They have the new movie about to come out. It may be time for people to start looking into those cards.
Do you guys
said
still own the
95?
rights to that IP?
No.
Or is that...
I've
No,
got
that
it.
was that was
Who's
Yeah.
keeping the
30
rights?
years ago. 30
We're
years
gonna make you pay for 30 years. Of
I actually
Street
think
Fighter IP.
I think Cardsmiths put out a Street Fighter product here a year or two ago. Very basic.
yeah,
product. yeah.
Huh.
That's cool. Actually, well, I just got a delivery notice today that my Hail Mary Cardsmith cards came in today. So that's
From Cardsmith?
yeah. But so that is interesting though. An interesting point though. When it comes to a movie, is it very difficult to go after and say like, hey, we just want the IP for this movie to make a product? Like, or do you have to sign like a whole long list of movies or like get in with that production company to, you know, get WB licensing or whatever the case?
Yeah.
All of the above.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It just depends. But yeah, I mean the history of Upper Deck Entertainment products. So product I found out about when I joined the company, I had no clue. Christina Aguilera cards.
Wait, just the Christina Aguilera card set.
Was she a Warner Brothers? I'm
I have
trying to
no
think,
idea. That was it was
Interscope, something
before
like
me.
that? Huh.
Those came out, and at the same year, Ricky Martin.
Dang.
Okay,
See,
so
this is something that we've been talking about on the show, Jason, is just like going back and just collecting all these non-sports cards that we didn't know never existed.
Yeah, no.
So the Street Fighter, the Christina Aguilera cards,
Congo.
which it could be the first time Christina Aguilera has been on a trading card, so it could be her rookie card.
Christina
Well-
Aguilera 2000.
And it's interesting because you would think, you know, the cool part about entertainment cards is there's so many small companies, regional companies, stuff that's made just overseas that
Mhm.
you come into.
Yeah.
You would think with a company of the size of Upper Deck over the years, you would know all the stuff they've made.
Yeah.
And I'm still coming across stuff that I had no clue as I kind of go back through the history of the company.
I find that
fun.
with many, so dealing with Tops at times, and like, I feel like there are many products that they put out that they don't know about either. And I'm just like, I wonder how back in the 90s and early 2000s, where we had kind of a junk wax era for a while, and then we started putting out more limited editions. What are the records kept? Like, is it kind of hard to find some of this stuff because there just weren't records, or just because the people that were here at that time aren't around to tell you like, oh, hey, look in this file because we've got all these other IPs that we worked with?
Well, I think it's all the pre-internet stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like one of the things that we've been looking at too recently is the history of some of the brands that we've acquired over the years. So Parkhurst. Parkhurst is generally a Canadian brand.
Mhm.
And they had an incredible amount of entertainment and miscellaneous IP. They have famously, I was disappointed. They have a big dogs product from like the
Like the
60s.
t-shirts?
No, like like
Big dog?
dogs, like just random breeds of dogs.
Dogs.
Big, just
Right?
big dogs.
Yeah, just dogs.
Funkle, Matsy, if you're listening to this, you have to find these cards, okay?
Yes.
He probably is the one who has
Let
them.
me trade you my Saint Bernard for your Great Dane.
Yeah, right.
Well, and it's funny. So we did on EPAC, we actually did a canine collection a handful of years ago. And had I known that Parkhurst had that in their catalog, it would have been branded Parkhurst because there's a history there.
Yeah, for sure.
you know,
That
it's-
would have been so.
That's
yeah.
wild.
And it's the same with Fleer and Gaudy and Skybox is there's a whole bunch of this stuff
Mhm.
back from years ago. And it's actually really fun going back
Yeah.
and kind of researching this stuff.
We need to apply for Upper Deck historian.
Exactly. That's I was thinking the same thing. Well, with all of the other IPs that you guys have done, and with the fact that you guys are currently involved with some big names, DC, Warner Brothers, things like that, do you guys ever think about doing a Pop Century-esque product, like where it is just a celebrity or entertainment product that doesn't necessarily belong to one specific IP?
So we did a product back in 2010, I believe it was called. It was called Prominent Cuts.
Prominent
Oh.
cuts. Okay.
Again, I would call it the dark era coming out of the recession. That was I would say a pop culture type product. It had a lot of screen worn material type items. It had a bunch of cut signatures, things of that nature. I've wanted to bring that brand back for
Yeah,
a while. That
yeah.
would be something we would look at.
I think that would be amazing.
You know, we would look at avenues. You know, we incorporate some of that stuff into Goodwin Champions. So that's kind of, I would say, the place where a lot of that happens, where we have
I was
the
going to say,
miscellaneous-
you guys kind of have that already,
Yeah.
but I think that would be because Goodwin Champions is very reminiscent too of for how Alan Ginter is being
Yeah.
put out these days too. It feels similar.
Well, they both have similar histories. So they were started in the 1800s, and in the 1800s, those sets were just a mishmash of different stuff.
really? Okay.
Yeah. So Goodwin Champions actually predates Allen and Ginter.
Really?
And they, again, at that time, you had just miscellaneous stuff in those sets. You had athletes, you had celebrities, you had birds or butterflies or,
That's-
landmarks, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think both companies have done a good job of staying true to the roots of that. And that's where we kind of find that, path for some of those miscellaneous personalities and stuff.
Very cool. Yeah. I'm literally Googled the Prominent Cuts product. I think this looks great. I mean, it looks, even though it says 2009,
Yeah,
I feel like
2009.
it could have been printed yesterday. I mean, it was very quality. I would fully encourage you guys to do another one of those because I think there is a lot of, I mean, when Pop Century comes out each year, I like the idea of it, and I've always been a big fan of it, but I could also use a different style. You know what I mean? Like, as somebody who's been doing this as long as Upper Deck has, I think you guys could do a very nice job. And I'm also realizing at this moment, I think I have one of these cards. I think I have Mickey Rourke. Did you guys have patches in there?
Yep.
I think that's one of the
Iron
cards.
Man Mickey Rourke?
No, it was I don't even know if it was any specific movie,
Yeah,
honestly, but it was like a Letterman jacket or something
It
like
came
that.
from a movie. So all those,
It was,
all,
okay.
yeah, all those
Expendables?
memorabilia cards. It might have been the Fighter.
Oh, yeah. It
I
could
don't
have been.
remember exactly. I know we had Will Smith's robe from Ali.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
that product.
Yeah.
There were some different parts and pieces of stuff, and honestly,
Mark Wahlberg Invincible jerseys in here.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
there's some pretty cool pieces in that
Yeah.
that product. Yeah.
All right. Well, honestly, Jason, I feel like we've covered a lot of the non-sport side of things at Upper Deck, but is there anything else we're missing? Anything else we need to talk about?
I got a couple questions before we get out
Oh,
of here.
yeah.
You talked about all the things that are on the table.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to get to everything. What can you share with us that's on the table that may be coming out in the future that we may not know about?
This is not a question he's going to be able to answer.
Well,
That you can share, of course.
look, I can speak in broad terms, right? So we have a couple of really killer DC products coming.
Mhm.
We have the one that I've been waiting for is we have a new James Bond product that's deep into
Ooh, I
development
like that.
now.
Okay.
We've wanted to be careful with James Bond because there hasn't been a lot of new content. So we don't want to flood the market with the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
But it's been a good while since there's been, I would say, a new concept for a Bond product. Our last one was No Time to Die.
Mm-hmm.
Did extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
We got all the key actors and actresses, autographs. We got memorabilia from the movie, but it was specific to a movie.
Yeah.
So we've got more of a portfolio product in the pipeline right now that
That's
we're
cool.
really, really excited about. Yeah, I mean, you're right. A lot of the stuff I can't talk about right now, but there is a lot in development and more coming. So
That's awesome.
Once the wheels start turning, but we've got, I don't know what's been announced for the DC products.
I can tell you what I've got pulled up here. This is like from Steel City's calendar of releases. They've got the 2026 Upper Deck DC Platinum products. I think that one, they've got a date on it. That one currently is in July 8th, it says. Then there's this one looks very cool to me. I don't know anything what I'm going to expect, but the artwork on the box alone looks cool. It's the 2026 Upper Deck Inspirations, The World of DC.
Yeah, so I can speak to those two for sure. So Inspirations is really cool. So Inspirations is really geared towards comic book geeks. It's all cover and variant cover artwork.
Oh, that's cool.
For the cards. We've never really done a full product just based on cover art.
Yeah.
And that entire product is cover art.
I love that idea.
That's cool.
And I scrolled down and now I'm seeing some of the picture. Actually, here, I can show it with you guys. That didn't help anybody. Let's do it like this.
So, one of the dilemmas
Microsoft.
while you're pulling that up, one of the dilemmas with cover art, especially variant art, is that some of the variants are so tough that most people never see the variant art. So the concept was to basically pull art, especially variant art that maybe is 1 in 200 books, may have never showed up at your comic book shop, and actually feature them on cards. So for a lot of people, the artwork in this product will be the first time they've seen it, even though it exists on a variety of comic books.
I wonder,
these covers are amazing.
I wonder for how many people this is like a segue for them to find that comic book. Like they didn't know that was a variant cover. They are a big comic book collector, but they didn't see that before. And then they see the card and it's like, oh, I want to go after that. And it could be vice versa as well.
Well, and along that lines, Jesse, one of the things that we have coming up for Free Comic Book Day is every comic book shop that is participating in Free Comic Book Day got free DC and Neopets packs to give away to customers for Free Comic Book Day. So,
wow,
there has been a lack of bridge, I would say, between comic book readers and trading cards, trading card collectors, and we're trying to bridge that gap a little bit more this year.
Well, I mean, this one product alone, I think, may rival even the Batman Metal product, because I love that one. Actually, your animated series Batman.
That's the one.
There's you guys. The point is, you guys have been doing a very good job with the products, and this one is right in line with them.
This one is going to be interesting because it's a new brand, it's a new configuration, it's a new concept. So you never know how that's going to land. But I think the concept's right with this variant art. I think DC Platinum, which will come out, I think, behind that. I actually think Inspirations is probably moving in that July spot, and Platinum will push out a little bit.
Okay.
But Platinum is basically the same brand that we had come out with Marvel Platinum, which is that chromium stock. It's basically 50% comic book art and 50% original art.
Oh, cool.
With all the parallels and stuff. So I would say that's more geared towards the traditional collector.
Sure.
Marvel Platinum was a runaway freight train hit. We expect DC Platinum to be massive because there really hasn't been a chromium stock DC product before.
Can I just say how professional you are that you did not get weirded out by the ground just shaking a moment ago? I guess you live in California, so maybe the ground shakes more often for you. Did you feel that while you were talking?
I did feel the ground shake, yes.
Did you question it at all? Because it didn't seem to throw you off at all.
I'm just going with the
He's
flow.
a professional.
He is media trained for sure. Now where there's a quarry not too far from here that when they blast at this same time every day, I just forget about it until someone comes in here. Sorry to cut
Jason,
here.
I got one more question and then we can get out of here. You mentioned braking.
Yep.
How can Jesse and I get direct distribution with Upper Deck?
You can't get
I
direct.
know you can't, but is that something maybe down the pipeline? I know, like, what is your
We have to go to Shep.
what is your philosophy for that?
Yeah, we
Like-
haven't really talked about it on this show. I think we've talked about it on SCN, but you know, our distribution model is a bit different than other places. I would say our distribution model is actually more similar to Wizards of the Coast and Magic. So we only sell to brick and mortar stores. We don't sell direct to breakers or show dealers, things of that nature. And a large part of that is because brick and mortar stores are the gateway to this industry. They are the lifeblood of this industry. So typically the breakers are brick and mortar store owners or somebody who is partnered up with a brick and mortar store. And a large portion of this, and this is one where Gio and I disagree heavily on, is that most of the scamming you've seen on Whatnot and Facebook groups have all been fly-by-night breakers who aren't associated with a brick and mortar store. Because if a breaker rips you off, if they have a brick and mortar store, you can go down to their store the next day.
I see. Yeah.
Right. And you know that you've got a problem, you know where to find them.
Yeah.
Whereas we've seen these things where guys have, not shipped a card or they've taken the money and run. Those are all breakers that don't have brick and mortar stores. So a large portion of this is to protect the end consumer, the collector. And that's so much of our philosophy is about protecting the collector. And that is one of our key things. You haven't seen when any of these scams or tricks or whatever have happened over the years, it's never been around an Upper Deck product.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, it's not foolproof because at the end of the day, anybody can buy a box, anybody can buy a case, and they can break.
Yeah.
True.
But we try to be very vocal of, hey, if you're going to break for your safety, break with somebody who is tied to a brick and mortar store.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, that's the safest thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I think too, if there's a world where we could get product from Shep, which I'm going to continue to push him for that, I do think it is, because I still think we had talked about this on the other show, so I forgive me for just assuming people know, but there was a topic where we talked about the e-packs being ripped by people who don't have necessarily access to get to their hobby shop. I view it very similar with breaking as far as like, oh, this is people who may not be able to go out and buy that product, or they just want the instant gratification of being able to go online this moment instead of driving down to their LCS and being able to rip that product. I think your point is also true that there are some shady characters in this industry that have tainted the breaking world, or at least they did in the beginning. But I think it's like many evolving new industries where it's like, you got to work out the kinks, right? Like we got to figure out where are the pain points, where are the places where people can take advantage and how can they take advantage? And then let's try and sew those up and fix them. I appreciate what you guys do because it's like you guys are seeing those and you've made the conscious decision that you're not going to sell directly to them, even though as who also breaks, I would prefer you did. But I can also see how you guys have done your best to protect your collectors, because at the end of the day, if they got, ripped off by, somebody taking advantage of a DC break that they were involved in, it could put a negative connotation in their heads of like, oh, I was in a DC, I was trying to get that Batman medal and the guy kept it for himself. I never got it. And so I can see there being practical reasons for it, even though personally I wish he did.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've got to get that figured out with Shep, but at the end of the day, we care about the end consumer. Right. And what we don't want to do is, we've all done a ton of work to bring new people into this industry and get them excited. And whether you're buying a hobby box or you're breaking or you're just buying singles, we want people to stay.
Yep.
And if we can reduce those negative experiences, it's better for everybody at the end of the day.
For sure. I agree.
This episode is brought to you by Welch's Fruit Snacks. Big news for your kids' lunchbox. Welch's Fruit Snacks are now made without any artificial dyes. A snack parents can feel good about, and the same delicious taste kids can't get enough of. All made with no artificial dyes. Try Welch's Fruit Snacks today.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast. which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
What this push that you guys have been making with Upper Deck, and you've always had entertainment, but just like I feel like recently it's been more of a push to just kind of get it out there. Like
I'm gonna disagree with you,
okay?
Because I like to think
that you've always done it.
Well, that we actually built the entertainment side of the industry. I mean, if you look at what we were doing with Marvel and Disney when we had those licenses, go back to the pandemic, the only entertainment products that were out there and were being featured were the Upper Deck products. There was no other entertainment products really at that point, maybe other than Star Wars. I got to give Star Wars its fair share.
Sure.
But we really built that side of the market. And look, we're great, and we're grateful that a lot of people are now excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been excited about it for 15, 20 years.
Yeah,
It's been a key piece of it. And
all the Marvel or early 90s Marvel products, what is it, Masterpieces? That's you guys, right?
Well, that was Fleer Skybox in the early 90s, but we revived that brand in 2016.
Yeah, okay.
And completely flipped that thing on its head.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best brands we have. And we have a DC Masterpieces product in the pipeline right now.
That'd be cool.
That we're super excited about. But you look at the kind of, I would say, historical important Marvel products now. 2013 Fleer Retro Marvel, which is where all those huge PMGs and jambalayas came from.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The early Marvel Premiere, which is a very heavy sketch card product. And at the time, it was like this huge price point. I think it was $200 a tin, and you got 2 sketches per tin. One was a multi-panel sketch in every tin.
What?
That's crazy.
Guaranteed multi-panel sketch?
Guaranteed multi-panel sketch in every tin. If you go back, Gems, Marvel Gems, which was an all-female based character product, was a super high-end product. I think it was like $100 product at the time, was unheard of at the time. So you go and look back at those products that we made back in the 2010s. And there are some, I would say, groundbreaking products that really set up where we are today for entertainment products.
Do you ever consider it a compliment that others have copied ideas that you guys may have come out with first? I mean, because
yes,
I think it's easy to be like, oh, well, dang it, they ripped off that idea. But it's also like, I think of, not everybody's going to reinvent the wheel. They're going to take liberties. There are some things that feel like, oh, that could be too blatant of a copy and not just a variation of an idea you had. But I think there's other times where it's like, man, we're really doing something. I think there's a lot of times where I feel like you guys may have been ahead of the times, ahead of the market
curve,
for some of these, because obviously there are other variations of cards that look maybe similar to things you've had out.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, they're taking off. They're doing very well. So I do wonder if like that is ever a point of pride or more of a, dang it, like why not us?
I think we pride ourselves in trying to innovate and be first. If you look through the history of trading cards, most of the innovations have come from Upper Deck. Eventually, everything gets repeated or copied. What I don't appreciate is when other people tout their versions of what we've done as innovative and brand new and first, and not give the attributions. Kind of like content creators, when people aren't getting attribution for the content.
Sure.
I feel the same way about our stuff. Like I see people claiming that they've got this innovative new thing or whatever, but it is just a repeat of ours. That's where I struggle. But look, our job as Upper Deck is to try to be on the forefront, and eventually everything will be copied. That's just the industry. There's only so much you can do with 2.5 by 3.5.
That's a solid point.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Honestly, when we had a discussion earlier where we were talking about like ideas for cards, different ideas, designs, and things like that, I remember seeing someone who it was a company in Japan or maybe China that was putting out a product. I think it may have been SpongeBob cards, and they had like lights, and there were lights in the card. Did you guys ever experiment with that and or like LCD screens or anything like
That's crazy.
technology wise?
Yeah, so we put out an Evolution product. I don't remember the year. I want to say it was around 2011, where we embedded a television screen, basically a small LCD screen in a card that had college football highlights in it with sound.
Wow. Oh, there was sound too.
There was sound, and they were randomly inserted into the packs and the blaster boxes.
This was in the 90s?
No, this was like
okay.
around 2010.
Oh, okay. That
11?
makes more sense. All right. Yeah.
And even then, we couldn't get them as flat as we wanted. But the one thing that we did do was they were 2.5 by 3.5. So we actually got it down to a 2.5 by 3.5 inch form factor. Yeah. The problem is that you always run the risk. And again, this is for all companies of, is it cool or is it a gimmick?
Sure. Yeah.
And again, to your point, sometimes you're so far out in front, it might be something really cool, but it feels like a gimmick because you're pushing forward. And that's, I think the way that was treated it felt gimmicky, but I thought it was cool because, my dream was always to open up a card and see highlights of my favorite player.
Yeah.
there.
I mean,
And if you go back before that, again, for us old fogies, again, pre-Jason at Upper Deck, the big innovation for Upper Deck was the Power Deck cards that was in the 90s, which was a CD-ROM.
Oh,
Which was in 2.5 by 3.5 inch shape. And you would put it in. And I always remember there's a Barry Sanders one because I grew up in Michigan where you put it in your CD-ROM and it had highlights of Barry Sanders running
That's
the
cool.
football. Yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So was it one of those where I remember them having the mini CDs, but it was like had the edges like flat, like the sides of the were flat?
They were kind
or
of,
was it like,
they were kind of curved.
Yeah.
Shaped.
Yeah, it was flat on two sides, and then the top and bottom were a little
yes,
curved.
yeah. So it wasn't a perfectly round, so it would fit with a deck of or a pack of cards.
Yeah, and I actually think somebody found that Upper Deck in basketball actually made a 1-of-1 Jordan Power Deck.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't. That was one. Again, it was before me. I didn't even know that existed.
I wonder what highlight it was or what.
I wonder if anybody found it. I wonder if it's out. Like, because do you ever think about that? Like, you guys made a really cool, like, 1-of-1 thing, and nobody ever found it.
Well, I think all the companies are experiencing that right now. Like, we still haven't seen the Connor Bedard 1-of-1 gold artburst.
Yeah, exactly.
Surface.
I forgot about that.
Or I believe the Macklin Celebrini, which was out of 24-25. So, and I don't think I've seen the Matthew Schaefer. So the three big rookies, the 1-of-1s the last 3 years, I don't think anybody has. Well, and again, hockey's a little bit different because people tend to be very private.
Yeah.
So I think one of the mistakes in the industry is people assume because they haven't seen it on social media that the card's never been pulled.
Oh, yeah.
I think we forget that there are a lot of private people out there that may have pulled it and just put it in their collection because they don't want to advertise that they have this very valuable card.
Yeah,
Well, I would think too, for you guys being more focused on the brick and mortar, that there's going to be a lot of people who are ripping this in a shop as opposed to online where the attention's automatic. People are going to clip that up and they're going to be able to easily post it versus I pulled this in my local card shop and nobody had a camera out or they weren't showing pictures because to your point, it's maybe very valuable. They don't want everybody to know they have it. So yeah, I could see that being less picks, less notoriety to a very big pull just because of how people are accessing the product.
Well, I think again, because a lot of the industry has gone to breaking, when you see those big cards pulled on a break, it gets clipped and it gets repeated everywhere. Because on the entertainment side of the business and the hockey side of the business, there are a lot of people who break their own boxes. They take them home. They open them in a shop. They may or may not want to be featured. And look, there's privacy because you don't know who won that break necessarily, especially if they have a screen name.
Yeah.
But because it's on a break, it's automatically public.
Yes.
So I do think there is a bit of a difference there because I find, look, I know there's a lot of entertainment breaks out there, but there are a lot of entertainment consumers and collectors that are very, very private with their collections.
I believe that. And it makes me want to know more, even more so. I want to know what they've got that they're not telling any of us about, that they like, oh, I everyone's been looking for this card. I've had it the whole time.
Sitting on a gold mine.
I know, right?
Yeah, like who exactly are the Congo collectors? I'd like to know those people.
We just made 2 of them right here.
Exactly.
So,
I'm going to
Jason, what in the entertainment world on Upper Deck are you excited about right now?
I'm excited about everything. What I'm excited about is actually getting the products out to market. That's what I'm excited about. Honestly, for me, the thing I'm most excited about is some of the creative concepts that the team are coming out. Like, I'm pumped for these album parodies.
I love that.
And there's another series coming out of album parodies. I like the inspirations, the variant covers that are going to be coming out.
That's really cool.
I'm really excited for the next Halo product that is in the pipeline. That is very, very exciting and very thematic to the property.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of projects I can't really speak to, but there is some deep cut nerd fandom stuff in the pipeline right now.
That's speaking of the right people right now.
That is really exciting.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be, you're going to see a ton of really cool product in the pipeline, but we're still probably 12 months away.
I think you've done a proper job of titillating us to the point where
he loves using that word.
It's an appropriate word. I'm very excited to know
talking about the Batman suit too. So there's a theme here.
I am just very excited to know that there are things not only that we already know about that are exciting, but then there's other things that we don't know about that we will be excited about. That, I don't know. There's something about the tease that is very cool to know, like, oh, there could be anything coming down the line. So, all that, I have other questions, but we're already, I said this was going to be 30 to 45 minutes and we're at an hour 15. So I love it.
What's your ask your question?
You guys might have to do 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think so.
I know, honestly, we may. The question was going to be if you guys had if the people who need to give you the autographs, who need to give you the approvals, if you had everything from that point, how long would it take you to get a product done and be able to ship it out? Because I am just curious, like what does that look like from that standpoint? Because I don't think I've ever talked to Topps about this or anybody else. Like the whole manufacturing of the product, once the ideas are done, does it take weeks, months?
Honestly, sometimes it depends on the technology that you're doing. I would say the average product on the entertainment side, I mean, if you have everything going, you can do 9 months. A lot of them are 18 to 24 months. And then we've had a lot of them that have been 4 to 5 years.
But wait, but that's not just the printing of it though, right? Like that's from inception of idea to printing. But like, what about like, say you're ready to print. I want to like, I've got everything. We're ready to print. We got all of our stuff. Now let's print the product. If you guys needed to print it tomorrow, could it be in shelves next month?
No.
2 months?
No, a couple months.
Couple months? Okay.
A couple months, depending on how big the print run is.
Okay. So, and that's just more of a, like, I have so many questions about the manufacturing of cards in general that very few ever want to talk about, or maybe they just don't know about. And I was just kind of curious. Like,
here's what I'll say, Jesse. I compare. So look, I was a collector since I was a kid. And I know other people say you're a collector, but I was a deep collector. Owned a card store. Been around this my entire life. I compare making trading cards. You hear there's 2 things in life that you don't ever want to see made: sausage and law. Right.
Okay.
The politics.
Yeah.
I would say trading cards is number 3.
Really?
Wow.
So I would say be careful what you wish for, because when you see how hard it is to actually get a product to market, it is a little disturbing.
That is, honestly, I think it would take a little bit of the magic out, because you open a pack and it's like, they're there. Yeah. They're ready for me.
And that's the hard part, I think, for all the manufacturers, is that the job is to deliver a perfect product to the consumer where they don't have to think about how hard it was. And for them to not understand, like it took 5 years to get that to product to market, and you had all these issues along the way. The collector, that's not their job to worry about that. But at the same time, it's kind of odd knowing what it took to get that out, and nobody will ever appreciate what it took to make that thing happen.
I feel like if we did know that, people would appreciate it more, like to your point.
But I can also see, like, if people saw it, like if someone showed me, hey, here's a Bitcoin. It's worth $100,000. Or they show me the lines of code on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Am I thinking like, oh, it's just code, as opposed to like it, in conjunction with this, oh, it's just a bunch of paper that got molded and pressed together, and now that paper got cut in so many ways, and now it's printed on, and now it's a card. I think it helps us to think of this as a special thing that came together, and now we have the finished cool product versus, oh man, that had how many layers of printing on there? And they had how many print lines? They had to get rid of that one. And the edge on that one was, it kind of takes you out of it.
Or we had to reprint that form 9 times because we had so many quality issues with it.
Yeah.
And the 9th still wasn't perfect, but at some point you have to
just go ahead and ship it out, man.
Right. Yeah. So it's, I would say you have to be careful because once you pull back the curtain and see the Wizard of Oz, it may not be as pretty as you thought.
Is there like somewhere in like an island of misfit cards that are just like the B grades that you guys keep, or
stuff all gets shredded?
Really?
It does. Yeah. Do you guys ever keep finished product like at the end of a product line? You guys, all right, we sold everything. We kept a couple cases for history or for our personal use.
Archives.
Do you guys keep anything?
No, in fact, I've tried to build some reference samples for us. I was surprised when I was early in the company, there was no archive or library.
That is so surprising to me.
Yeah.
Like people didn't want to be like, oh, we'll keep one box.
Yeah, you got to go on eBay and
find
the
philosophy is every box has a collector.
Well, and you think too, what would happen if you just happen to have like the big card in that box and it's just sitting there forever and no one ever found it?
Yeah, but that happens regardless, right?
That's true. Someone else has it on a shelf.
I mean, I just saw a social media post of a guy with a garage full of Pokemon. So, that garage full of Pokemon is going to be sitting there, for a while.
If it was me,
it's not my garage.
if I ran Upper Deck or Tops or Leaf or anybody else out there, I feel like if I had a product that came out, I would either, talk to production. I would like a box, or I would just go out to a store and try and get a box. Because I think what would be really cool is after the end of your tenure is done, you just had a whole wall of just boxes of the things that you helped to create. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in a perfect world, we would give everybody who worked on the product a box that they worked on. But we have so many employees that touch each set that it becomes impossible at that point.
All right. Everybody else at Upper Deck, I think we can all agree the president could at least get a box, right? Like, can we at least let him have one, and then everybody else can have
you ever do anything fun like at the company Christmas party, like a special not one of one, but like a Upper Deck card that only you get at like the Christmas party?
Like how Tiger Woods had his birthday card.
No. You guys a little uneducated here. So every quarter we have employee exclusive cards that we give the employees as a thank you.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Every 3 months they get exclusive cards. They tend to mainly be sports, but we've had some stuff over the years. So one year we did an uncut alien sheet.
No, that's cool.
Super cool.
That is really cool.
We did some X-Files precious metal silver cards one year.
That's awesome.
We did some sketch cards one year.
Oh, wow.
That every employee got a sketch card.
Do you have rules when you guys give these out? Like,
so that's straight on eBay.
So that's the interesting part about the employee cards is the employee cards are the only Upper Deck material that an employee is allowed to sell.
Really? Wow. Okay. So they cannot go. So you can't have a breaker who works for Upper Deck, which makes perfect sense, but they could sell that card if they chose to.
They can sell the employee exclusive card because it's exclusive to employees. Yeah. And the only way that a collector can get it is if an employee sells it. It's not a conflict.
Yeah.
With, again, you have an employee, they go out, they buy a box of Superman, Ultra Superman. They pull the 1-of-1 platinum medallion Superman.
Yeah.
People are going to question, did that actually come out of a box or did they take it off the factory line?
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
That would be a big problem.
But those problems don't exist with the employee cards. And essentially, we have people who are collectors and they'll put it in their collection to sit there forever. And other people use it as a bonus and they sell the cards off.
Yeah, for sure.
How many cards are there usually when you give them out?
So it depends, anywhere from 1 to 6. So we do an exclusive precious metal gems series of 6 of the top hockey rookies every year.
Oh, cool.
And each employee gets a full set.
Wow, that's really cool. How many employees does Upper Deck have? Is that something
we're trying to figure out?
You
the
don't
card.
put that out there.
How many numbers of the card?
It's like Fight Club. We don't.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to think. What else can I ask that you can't answer? No,
We're here to.
We're
do
getting
our,
deep today.
I know.
This is what we do.
We're
Well,
gonna start talking about emotions next.
yeah,
or
right.
what?
Listen.
Hey, we've been there. We've been there.
I saw a movie trailer today that made me cry. No, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I would like to talk about or ask you about that we haven't already covered. There's one question, actually. This is what I was supposed to ask you on SCN. Scotty Scheffler in a golf product. Is that going to happen?
We've been efforting for quite a while.
Okay.
Yeah, look, some athletes just have no interest in signing trading cards.
You would think like that's part of the perks of like, I want a trading card. I'm an athlete now. I
Well,
wanna
some
be
people
on
are
one.
just athletes
Yeah, losers.
or winners.
That's my personal
Literally.
opinion, Scotty, not Upper Decks. They would love to have you. Did I just call Scotty a loser in case
You
you
did.
actually watched?
It was on.
Scotty,
It's
you're
on
cool.
tape.
You're a cool guy. Forgive me, please. No, I think that's great. Jason, thank you again for being willing to stick around to make this pretty much your entire day of doing podcasts.
Thank you for the gifts.
Really informative. I'm not going to let you have this, but I was going to show you. I totally forgot.
Oh, look at that.
In my little drawer over here, I have all of the Jordan Upper Deck cards from like the mid 90s that you could probably imagine. Nothing super expensive, no autos or anything like that. But it was one of these things where when I saw someone selling this, I was like, I have to have it because these were all the cards that I collected. These were all like
It's all the ones from Upper Deck.
well, they were. I'm pretty sure every one of the. Well, there's like a couple. Like
There
there's
was a
one
lot of
Topps Chrome in
Upper
there.
Deck
Yeah,
MJ
I
cards
figured
when he
there
was.
Yeah,
playing,
yeah. But I mean, these are some of my pride and joy because that's what I collected when I was in 3rd grade collecting cards before a buddy tricked me into trading them all out for wild cards.
He's looking at me, but it wasn't me.
It wasn't
Just
you.
to
It was a
let you
mutual
know.
friend of ours
Yeah.
back in school.
Is there anything else that you collect, Jason, besides trading cards and possibly coins,
Are you a Pokemon guy at all?
or just no trade? Like, is there?
I can't do Pokemon. Like I just
It's a lot.
How many Star Wars cards do you have in your collection?
I have quite a few.
Do you
You'd be
really?
Surprised.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do a lot. I do some of the deep cut stuff
Mhm.
just because it doesn't get super expensive, and
Yeah.
I kind of like some of the niche stuff. So the one master set I have is believe it or not
Congo.
better.
Better.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yeah, Riddick.
Whoa.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. What was the Pitch Black? Was the first
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Riddick set was a Rittenhouse set, and they actually did some throwback Pitch Black cards in conjunction with that.
Oh, cool.
I love that series. I nerded out for that
Sure.
series. And again, it's one that people don't pay attention to.
I mean, until this moment, I guarantee you there's
Yeah.
many listeners who probably didn't know it existed.
Yeah, so I tend to go after stuff like that, and I tend to do sets that don't make any sense to anybody else, but it's fun to collect. I think, again, everything has gotten so much about value
Mhm.
that I like to find little areas that I still love the art of collecting.
Yeah.
Right. And I find stuff that's inexpensive and fun. And maybe, I think the other thing is it's not a conflict with what I do. I think one of the really hard parts about being the president of Upper Deck is if I had this killer Upper Deck collection, people be questioning how I got those cards.
Yeah.
This guy over here.
Yeah. So I try to avoid that. And it sucks because I love the cards that we
Yeah.
make. I love the concepts that our employees come up with, but I don't feel right even buying them off of eBay. Like I don't ever want
That
that.
stinks. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't ever want a question of
Your integrity.
and the company's integrity. Right?
You need a fall guy.
Yeah.
You need a
And,
like,
it's
scapegoat.
it's interesting. You talk about, like Otani.
Yeah.
You talk about like the rules. One of the hard parts for me is I did have a store. I had a ton of inventory that I've carried with me through all the years. And what I never anticipated is working at Upper Deck. Doesn't matter whether I own that stuff before I went to work for Upper Deck. I can't sell it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just stuck with
You're
it
just
until the day that I
sitting on it.
retire, essentially. My poor wife
Wow.
is
Yeah.
like, what are you doing?
Got a
Yeah.
garage full of all these
Yeah.
cards.
What was that transition from owning a card shop to becoming president of Upper
Well,
Deck?
it wasn't a straight transition.
Correct.
Yeah, like
Yeah. He went, where did you start with Upper Deck?
I started as a brand manager, and there was quite a.
I figured it wasn't like
There was about a 10-year
I'm
break
qualified.
where I was going and getting my education and getting some work experience between when I shut the shop. But I had, like the story goes, I was able to use selling the inventory from the shop to pay for school when I went
that's
to
cool.
college, because I actually had the shop when I was in high school.
Wow. Wow.
And when I shut that down, because I realized I couldn't own the shop and go to
school.
college at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
It's
no.
impossible. But I was able to sell some of my inventory to help pay for school, which was great. And then I just stayed attached to the industry. So again, for old fogies, before eBay, like I did a lot of sales on Beckett Buy Sell Trade was kind of the place where you did a lot of
Yeah.
transactions back then, and then transitioned into eBay and helped kind of fund collecting and,
Yeah.
you know, and I just stayed attached to the industry for years. And then weird thing is when I got out of grad school, there was this position open at Upper Deck. So I never dreamed I'd be working for a manufacturer.
So when you got out of school, you weren't like, it wasn't the intention of like, oh, I'm going to go work for a card company, but it worked out perfectly for you.
Yeah, because I knew the industry, right?
Yeah.
So it
Mhm.
was interesting. I thought I'd work for a sports team. I interned for the Cincinnati Bengals. I interned
wow.
for an arena football league team. I did some consulting with the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, wow.
So I was convinced I was going to end up working for a sports team. And when I saw the job at Upper Deck, I was like, okay, this is
It's like the best of both worlds.
yeah, this is my
Yeah.
wheelhouse, right?
Yeah, very much so.
So-
Wow. That's really,
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't-
awesome.
you're like a real person. It's like, which is something funny to say, but at the same time, it's like we deal with a lot of card manufacturers, people behind the scenes, you know, the people who are getting paid the big money to do these jobs. And a lot of times it's like, we talk to them as if they are the company, and you are a face of Upper Deck, but at the same time, you are very much a collector. You're very much deep and passionate about it. And I think if it wasn't already evident from your viewpoint about consumer first in your
Yeah.
business model, I think this even more so shows like, this isn't just like a guy who is a president of a company. This is a collector like any of us. And I think that's cool.
Yeah, and I've never stopped. And look, there's a lot of people who claim they're collectors or they've been around the industry a long time. Like I'm deep in it. Like I'm in the deep cuts of stuff. I've been doing this since I was a wee tyke, and I know the history of a lot of this stuff. So, you know, it's not show, it's not lip service.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
he's
deep
about
in
it.
Yeah.
So you said earlier you're working on a LinkedIn post. Do you post anywhere else? Like, are you on social media other than LinkedIn?
LinkedIn is where I'm at. You know, I think for me, it's the place where I feel the most comfortable expressing myself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and it's like there's also a very business orientation to that, and being your position, it would make sense that you can also like actually write paragraphs versus just, here's a picture of me holding cards. Now read the subscripts
up.
for pages of this. Yeah. It makes sense. Okay. Well, I just want to make sure people, because, you know, we've talked about some of your thoughts and the opinions you've shared, and I wonder if people know where they can go out and find some of that stuff themselves. So if you guys are interested, if you have a LinkedIn account, you can follow Jason. He's always sharing his thoughts, and not only about Upper Deck, but about what is going on in the hobby as well. And I appreciate it.
Well, if people want to see me, Sports Cards Nonsense, Hobby Nonsense, that's where you can find me.
These
There
are
we
the
go.
places.
Yeah.
He's going to be
And
back
we-
every week.
We try to do a good job and pumping all the cool stuff that Upper Deck has going on our socials. One of our best performing posts has been the announcement of the Batman the Animated Series cards that you guys put out.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that thing just went crazy.
People love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a slam dunk product.
I think the dilemma for you guys is that the entertainment side of the business is so big and so broad. Trying to figure out what you're going to talk about on a weekly basis is really tough.
It's
Yeah.
funny because unlike SCN, which again, you know, me not being as into every sport has been, it probably like makes it where I have to do a little bit more research. Whereas over here, I never have to do a ton of research because I am constantly having to be like, okay, We won't have time for that. We won't have time for
Yeah.
that. I'll have this and this, and then Ray will have his stuff. It's like I have found personally where if there was like another competitor in this space, like another card company putting out a bunch of entertainment product, I know for a fact we'd have to do 2 shows a week. There's already
that's
demand.
probably where it's going to be headed,
Yeah.
because we can't.
I mean, this
just
episode alone's
TCG.
an hour and a half.
Yeah, just TCG by
TCG alone,
itself
yep.
is
Yeah.
enough to do a weekly spot on.
Well,
Mhm.
here's the thing. We're not gonna have time to do another episode today. So here's the things I did want to say. This Friday, close your ears, Jason. There's a WWE royalty product that is going to be coming out, and Ray is going to be breaking this product over on Fanatics
Yep.
Live. We don't have the exact time as of yet, but
It'll probably be, I'm going to shoot for 6:00 Eastern.
so an evening break. Okay,
Correct.
so there's just one case of that, guys. So if you want in, there will be one break of that.
Hopefully by the time you're listening to this, the spots will be live and you guys can go ahead and get your spots. So the cool thing about this product is that the big chase cards that people are going to be searching for is the WrestleMania 41 patches that the wrestlers wore during last year's WrestleMania that will be in this product. So
You said
John-
John Cena's
John
last one,
Cena's
right?
last match,
Yeah.
or his last WrestleMania patch, is going to be in this product. So
That's pretty cool. Okay, so obviously this is a higher end product, so expect to see that out there on Friday. Sunday is not May the 4th, but it is the day before. And in some places, when we go live, it'll be May the 4th. I'm saying all this because I'm doing a Star Wars show, eBay Live Star Wars show. We're doing all singles of just graded Star Wars. We'll have the rookie Luke Skywalker. We'll have not a 10, but we'll have some other grades of Luke's rookie card. We're also going to have like the goldenrod. We'll have the original and the misprint. We'll have a lot of both newer and vintage Star Wars. It will be on May the 3rd, Sunday night, just because we're already used to doing Sunday night shows and it's close enough. It'll be in Australia and our Pacific Asian countries. They're already in the May the
They're there,
4th.
baby.
This show's
New
really
Zealand?
dedicated to those fans.
Come
So
on.
we appreciate you. But also, if you live
who's
in
your
America,
favorite Star Wars character,
please
Jason?
come.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Ooh.
Okay.
And it's not even close.
Okay. Really?
Really?
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Are you
Now-
in the whole, like all the lore, the Mandalorian lore and all that stuff?
You know, it's funny. I think I had kind of lost faith in the Star Wars franchise until that series came out.
I hear you.
I 100% understand that. Here's the only problem, though. I keep seeing the trailers for the
Oh.
new Mandalorian movie. I don't know if I think it looks great.
Yeah,
I-
I'm not.
Are you
come
nervous?
on,
Yeah, I'm
guys.
very
Thank you.
nervous. Yeah,
I am too.
Look, and it's interesting with Mandalorian. I love the first 2 seasons, and then I say the half season, which was Boba Fett.
Yeah.
when he came into Boba Fett.
Yeah.
3rd season, I understand how it had to wrap things up. Not my favorite.
Yep.
So now I'm kind of nervous. And, you know, my understanding from what I've read is that this was supposed to be season 4 that got turned into a movie.
That's,
Ugh, I
I
like
kind of
that.
heard that too.
I don't like
and-
that at all.
Yeah.
I would have preferred season 4, but that's
will-
probably more money for
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing is like, I could see it being a good thing because season 3 felt like this was too many episodes. Like you could have condensed this down and maybe it would have been better. So maybe, but when, you know, like when you watch a trailer and you're like, oh, it's a comedy, but I didn't laugh in the trailer. It's like, those are supposed to be the highlights. Those are like the big moments. And I wasn't laughing at it. And I'm watching this and I'm like, nothing like blew me away in the trailer. So
I'm hoping they didn't want to do a spoiler.
that's my hope. I'm
So-
like, maybe they're just holding it close to the chest and there's going to be some bigger things happening. So we'll see.
There was a Mandalorian spot during this year's WrestleMania. It was weird.
Oh yeah. Well,
It's like
you
they
never
panned-
actually mentioned
they like
why.
panned to, because there were
No, you ever mentioned why WrestleMania would like why people would probably
it
be
was
looking
like
outside
there
of
was-
it because
all
there's
of
so
it
many-
was ads.
Yeah.
It was
just-
ridiculous.
yeah. I didn't care for that either. But that being said, eBay Live on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. There will be no ads. I will be wearing a costume, unlike today where I dropped the ball. Please come on over and hang out. Even if you're not buying cards, just come and
What
watch the
size
cards.
Slave Leia costume did you have to get?
I
So-
only go child small on
Okay,
everything
gotcha.
just because it fits me best. So, yep. All right. That's it. Hey, Ray, what's your favorite soup?
Egg drop soup.
See, now that's why he's a great co-host. He answers that question. I couldn't get this guy or Alex to answer the question on the first pod.
I'm not a soup guy. My wife is like, "Oh, we're having soup for dinner."
Who is a soup
And I'm
guy?
like, I don't want soup. I want to eat something. And she's like, "That's the dinner." I'm like, "No,
that's
I want
that's my
something
drink.
with my soup."
That's the side drink I'm having with my dinner.
I think I got caught in a very awkward moment where Alex and I were like, where did that question come from?
Exactly.
Like we were kind of speechless.
Well, and that's why
ADHD.
there's so much nonsense over here. He's just kind of used to it. He's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, is
I
egg
love
drop,
a good
egg drop
the
soup?
egg drop soup. You gotta put a little lime and put a little lemon on there. Get the little chili paste, put it in there as well, and then the little crunchy stuff that comes in.
Oh, okay. There we go. That's becoming more of a meal at that point. You're
It's too
actually
much
getting
work.
some crunch. Yeah,
Too much work.
Too much work. I guess I'm more of a stew man, maybe.
Stew guy?
Chili a soup?
No, that's a meal.
Ooh, what do you think, Jason? Is chili a soup?
No, it's chili.
It's chili. Okay.
What kind of beans you putting in there? All of them?
All right, we gotta. I'm not asking the president of Upper Deck what kind of beans he puts in his chili. All right, that's the end of your show, guys. Thank you so much. We'll have some more Pokemon that got left out there.
Sure.
We'll have more of that coming up. But
thanks for coming on, Jason. This was great.
Thanks for having
if
me.
you guys haven't already given a shot to some of these products, all the ones that we discussed and then some are fantastic. I can highly recommend the Batman Metal, the animated series, the Superman product that just came out. Some of the sketches in it are absolutely amazing. In fact, I forgot to tell you, we got a box thanks to you guys.
Oh, nice.
They sent us a box. It's sitting on my desk at home right now. I figured like maybe we could just like open it together or something.
Perfect.
Because it's like I would thought like, oh, maybe I'll give it to him, but I wanted it too, so I couldn't just give it to you. But
we can open it. You can keep the cards, or we can split it. We'll discuss.
Anyways, guys, check out the entertainment products coming out of Upper Deck and all of it in general. But you know where you're listening to this podcast. Obviously, we care about entertainment. That being said, we'll see you guys on next show next Wednesday. Thank you again, Jason.
Thank you.
All right. Goodbye.
Hey, Mama. Thanks for making all my favorite recipes.
Hi, Ma. Thanks for your unfiltered advice.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for always being by the phone.
Hey, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
When you ship UPS Air at the UPS Store, your items arrive on time or your money back. Guaranteed at no extra cost. Exclusively at the UPS Store U.S. retail locations. Visit the upsstore.com/airshipping for full details. Terms and conditions apply. Send your Mother's Day gifts at the UPS Store and we'll get your gratitude there on time.